belong in this world.
Stranger Things, Season 5, Volume 1, didn't just give us answers. It detonated them across Hawkins like a psychic grenade. Characters we thought were safe are now hanging by a thread. New alliances have formed in the most unexpected places, and the Upside Down has finally revealed a truth that changes everything we thought we knew about this universe. Welcome back to Your Nerdy Show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and today we're breaking down the explosive ending of Season 5, Volume 1, moment by moment. We're going to explain what really happened in that final battle, the shocking twists that flipped the story on its head, the hidden clues setting up Volume 2, and how the ending secretly confirms who the final threat truly is. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Hawkins may never recover, which character's fate is now sealed, and how this ending sets up one of the most dangerous finales in TV history. The state of Hawkins after the time jump. Hawkins itself looks like a battleground caught between two realities. Cracks, vines, and portals spread throughout what was once a quiet suburban town. While others across the country might treat Hawkins like a cursed anomaly, its residents know the truth. Vecna is not gone. The silence is not peace. It's preparation. Every surviving member of the Hawkins group knows another showdown is coming, and unlike past battles, the enemy now has momentum, reach, and purpose. 11 has spent most of those 18 months training her abilities. She's not just relearning how to use her powers, she's attempting to evolve them. Hopper and Joyce, once symbols of resilience, now carry the weight of knowing that monsters exist beyond trauma, and that their survival was never the end of anything. Mike, Will, Lucas, Dustin, and the others are older, more mature, and far more aware that this fight is not another seasonal anomaly. This is war. Holly's abduction and the trigger of Volume 1. Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 1 gains momentum when a Demogorgon abducts Holly Wheeler during what the group refers to as a crawl, a scouting mission to locate Vecna's possible hiding spots. Holly's kidnapping is not random. Vecna chooses her deliberately, and this event forces every character to converge on the reality that the enemy is not hunting broadly, it is selecting targets. Holly's kidnapping also exposes something darker beneath the surface. Vecna's strategy isn't chaos for chaos's sake anymore. It is methodical, calculated, and personal. Unlike Season 4, where Vecna used visions and psychological torture against teenagers to break open gates, Season 5 shows him focused on building something that requires living minds, not corpses. Eleven's search and the revelation of the military secret. Determined to rescue Holly, 11 enters the Upside Down again. She expects a confrontation with familiar horrors, but what she finds instead is a secret the military has been hiding. Dr. K and the armed forces have been operating inside the Upside Down, not hunting Vecna, but controlling access to it. 11's discovery of Hopper here confirms her worst suspicion that humans may be just as dangerous as monsters. Hopper is not there by accident, and the military has been preparing countermeasures not just for Vecna, but for anyone with supernatural gifts. The military had once been clueless and reactive, bumbling into battles they barely understood. Now, they operate like a faction aware that psychic powers exist, can be weaponized, and can be neutralized. 11 sees that whatever force the military has discovered or created can disrupt her powers. Hopper's warnings make it clear the adults she once trusted are now preparing for a world where children like her are considered existential threats. The Upside Down Expedition and the mystery of the fleshy wall. While 11 and Hopper uncover the military's presence, Nancy, Steve, Jonathan, and Dustin track a Demogorgon through the Upside Down, believing the creature may lead them to Holly. Their journey uncovers a massive wall, a circular organic barrier encircling the remains of Hawkins' lab. This strange wall isn't simply shielding something, It is pulsating, alive, and growing. Dustin realizes that the Upside Down is no longer reacting to gates being opened. It is expanding with intention. Hawkins' lab, once a symbol of scientific abuse and human experimentation, has become the focal point of something Vecna is building. The wall resembles a womb, suggesting Vecna is creating or resurrecting something that he needs a controlled environment for. This revelation doesn't just frighten the group, it reframes their understanding of Vecna. He is not hiding, he is incubating. The survivors in Hawkins and Vecna's growing influence. Back in Hawkins, Mike, Lucas, Will, Robin, Joyce, and Murray attempt to track down other children Vecna appears to be targeting. These children share eerie similarities with Will during Season 1. Quiet, introverted, emotionally fragile, and easily manipulated. Vecna's pattern becomes clear. He does not pick strong minds. He preys on the vulnerable, because empty rooms are easier to remodel. This is when Will reveals something crucial. Even after Season 4, his psychic tether to Vecna never fully ended. He still senses him, hears him, and feels him. Will has been living in silent fear, terrified that Vecna didn't just scar him, but marked him. Will's powers and the mind-blowing twist. As a horde of Demogorgons attack across multiple locations, Will undergoes a transformation that reframes his entire role in the series. His pupils disappear, leaving his eyes white. His voice grows calm, controlled, and emotionally detached. He stops 3 Demogorgons simultaneously in 3 separate areas and kills them without lifting a finger. The violence is silent, efficient, and eerily familiar. Will emerges not as a victim, but as a mirror of Vecna. However, what makes this twist so compelling is that Will is not a test subject. He was never exposed to the same experiments that created 11 or Kali. His powers come from his connection to Vecna. His trauma became a psychic channel. Instead of Vecna merely using Will as a conduit, Will has now learned to reverse the flow. He is not producing power, he is hijacking Vecna's. The nosebleed confirms the strain, but this is not a genetic awakening, it is psychic theft. This revelation suggests something deeper. Vecna's hive mind is not a weapon he controls, but a network that can be exploited. Will, the first mind Vecna ever tried to dominate, has now become the weak link in Vecna's system. Vecna created his own vulnerability. Vecna's plan and why he needs Holly. Volume 1 finally explains why Vecna took Will years ago. He did not pursue him arbitrarily. He saw Will as weak, sad, and impressionable, an ideal empty vessel. Will escaped, but Vecna learned something from the failure. That failure became research. Vecna now targets Holly and several other children because he intends to reshape them psychologically. He appears to them as Mr. Whatsit, a harmless figure who promises protection from imaginary monsters. In reality, Vecna is grooming them, molding their minds so that he can rewrite reality using human consciousness as his foundation. The mindscape is no longer a cage, it is a production line. The return of Kali and the military's new weapon. The military reveal reaches its peak when Kali, also known as 8, returns. With her shaved head, blank expression, and forced compliance, it becomes obvious she is not a guest. She is a prisoner. The military experimented on her abilities, likely weaponizing her illusions and emotional manipulation to create a device capable of disrupting 11's powers. This pulsing sound wave emitter is the closest thing to psychic kryptonite we've seen. If 11 loses her edge, Hawkins loses its only advantage. Kali's presence confirms the military now considers all powered individuals potential threats, regardless of allegiance. The war no longer has 2 sides, it has 3. Max's survival and the mindscape maze. Max provides another shock. Although her physical body remains comatose, her consciousness is alive inside Vecna's mind. She recounts dying in Season 4, then awakening in the Rainbow Room. The call she heard wasn't Vecna's voice, It was a psychic residue of Eleven's attempt to save her. Max moves through Henry Creel's memories, discovering that the mindscape isn't just Vecna's domain. It is layered, it is fragile, it can be infiltrated. She nearly escapes when she hears "running up that hill," but the door closes before she can leave. She hides in a cave Vecna refuses to enter, proving there are corners of his own mind he cannot control. Holly's arrival provides Max with help she never expected. Together, they may become the first people to escape the mindscape from the inside. The road to Volume 2 and the setup for the final war. The ending of Volume 1 removes every safety net. The military is decimated. Hawkins is leaderless. The Upside Down grows without resistance. Vecna has multiple hostages. 11 faces an enemy who can weaken her abilities. Steve's group stands outside a monstrous womb, hiding something tied to the origins of the Upside Down. Max and Holly might hold the secret to escaping Vecna's psyche, and Will, perhaps the most tragic character in the series, transforms into Vecna's unintended rival. The story no longer revolves around stopping Vecna from killing. It revolves around stopping him from rebuilding the world into a psychic dictatorship. Volume 2 promises a direct clash between three factions: Vecna's hive, 11's allies, and the military's weaponized paranoia. At the center of all three stands Will Byers, once a scared kid taken by shadows, now a potential equal to the monster who started everything. Stranger Things began with one boy disappearing. It may end with that same boy becoming the force that determines whether the world lives or dies.
From him! You stay away!
Our nerdy thoughts. And there you have it. The Season 5 Volume 1 ending wasn't just a cliffhanger. It was a warning shot. The rules of Hawkins have been rewritten. The Upside Down isn't hiding anymore. And every character we care about is now standing on the edge of their final fight. Whatever happens in Volume 2 isn't just the conclusion of a story. It's the last roll of the dice for this entire universe. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button. Join the Nerdy Show family by subscribing and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our Volume 2 theories, character deep dives, and every hidden detail the Duffers don't want you to notice. Trust me, you're going to need them. Until next time, this is Spoiler Master signing off. Stay strange, stay curious, and remember, in Hawkins, nothing ends without a fight.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.